ובימים ובלילות חיפשתי את שאהבה נפשי, וכאילו הכל נעלם, ברחובות הומים אדם אפשר להרגיש את זה.
Well, this is Baruch Fleischman, and you've been listening. That little bit introduction is Udi Davidi. I'm not so bucky on music from nowadays. I really just, a certain extent, well, I got older. I'm from another generation. Ultimate connection with God. But the thing is that I've traveled a lot. I'm a person who's done a lot of traveling. The one thing is always true about the earth. As you go to different places, it's still the earth, no matter where you go. And so it's very important for us to be able to understand that there's a panemius to life, and that's what we're doing when we learn the works of someone like Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. I see from the comments that people are little have what to say about this, and we'll keep on because there's a rule in learning. The rule is that you can only understand what you're reading if you get to the end. Because the end will come back and teach you about all the things that you've been learning. Maybe confusing, maybe you didn't understand them, maybe you have to read them again. Let's go over here to Rabbi Mimran, and he's been with this ultimate connection, which we called the Vegas. Wow, I blanked on that. So here we are to understand what Rabbi Mimran is going into here, and we're right here in this place. He says one way to significantly raise your vibrational frequency is to reach much more deeply in the realm of no mind. Now, of course, you see this going on. Now, he's talking about the fact that, do you realize, and I always say this, and I have some people arguing with me about that the world is turning. It's constantly changing. But do we think that we're actually vibrating? We are vibrating. Every cell in our body, every bone, our mind, all producing different kinds of actions, which could be translated into different kinds of vibrations. Now, he's using the word vibration because that sounds to me more like a sound type of thing, something like the vibrations of an organ or something like that. So let's see what else he has to say. I'm trying to picture this. So he says to reach more deeply into the realm of no mind. This is what we've been talking about, and achieve a state of pure consciousness, devoid of any extraneous trappings. In that state, you feel your own presence with such intensity and such joy that all thinking, all emotions, even your physical body, in fact, the entire external world, become relatively insignificant in comparison to what you are experiencing. Yet this is not a selfish state. So you might think that, the wise man who sits on top of the mountain, and he could do this, but he's not being bothered by all those people down below. On the contrary, he said, it is altogether selfless, for it enables you to transcend yourself, or at least what you used to think of as yourself. The connectedness, the consciousness, the presence that you feel is essentially you, while at the same time it is inconceivably greater than you. So let me get this up a little bit here. Just as no sound can exist without silence because you need the opposite in order to be able to see it, nothing can exist without nothing, so that nothing can exist without no thing, without the empty space that enables it to be. Every physical object or body has come out of nothing, is surrounded by nothing, and it will eventually return to nothing. Even inside every physical body, there is far more nothing than something. Now, one of the things that Rabbi Mimran would say to me is that if you took an atomic microscope and you looked at your wooden table and you tried to find the substance of the table, you would have a hard time finding it, because the objects that make up the table they're really not combined in any way, but somehow they are. Physicists tell us that the solidity of matter is an illusion. Even seemingly solid matter, including your physical body, is nearly 100% empty space. So he said, so vast are the distances. Let me get this so it's lined up good. Between the atoms compared to their size. So in other words, that I think probably says it better. If you had the atomic microscope on your desk, you would see the atom, but then you would start looking around, and you would see that so let me read again. The distances between the atoms compared to their size are tremendous, tremendous differences. Distances. What is more, even inside every atom, if you were able to look at it more closely, there is mostly empty space. What is left is more like a vibrational frequency than particles. Now, here we're talking physics now, the theories of physics. So he says what you find there are mostly vibrational frequencies of the particles of solid matter. This has been known for thousands of years. Look, King Solomon said, all is but illusions, as stated by the wise King Solomon. Now, he comes over here and he brings this blurb, and the blurb says, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh. All of the people of Israel are interconnected one to the other. Now, it seems like he was talking about how mostly everything that exists is really empty. Hard to put together exactly with the last phrase where he says where Jews are all interconnected, so we have to understand a little bit more about connectedness. This is Baruch Fleischman. It's a little more Udi Davidi. Is that it? Not getting any sound. I guess we played out. That's it. That's Baruch Fleischman. I got to learn this a little bit better. Tikkun Elevator Caller.